My Prem Namaste to one and all of you, our viewers and participants that are here with us this morning. My name is Pandit Kiran Satgur. We've been running the podcast and the reels on the 16 days of activism from the time of the activism that has started. So today we are very honored to have two attorneys that are present with us this morning. That's Prenisha and Udesh. Both of them are community-based in Pietermaritzburg. Prenisha is going to look at the law, and also she's going to look at some of the options that victims may have and what recourse that they can take. And one of them is a very important one, and that is when you have a protection order. So I'm going to ask each one to introduce themselves first, and then Udesh and Pranisha will then continue with their discussions. Over to you, Pranisha.
Namaste, everyone, and thank you, Pandit, for inviting me. My name is Prenisha, and I'm based in Pietermaritzburg.
To our listeners, my name is Udesh Ramesar. I am a proud member of the Vedic Pietermaritzburg, also Pietermaritzburg based, and I'm happy to be here this morning. Thank you.
Okay, so this morning I'm going to be talking about the different types of abuse. So, in our society, we sometimes look at certain aspects as not being abused. For example, if your partner asks to check your cell phone, is this normal? If I speak to many people, yes, it is normal. Is it normal for you? Not for you. A lot of people say it is, but this forms of control, and it is a form of abuse. There are many aspects which fall under abuse. For example, if you are in a domestic relationship and your partner refuses to give you money for household amenities, this is also a form of abuse. The more visible ones, for example, physical abuse, sexual abuse, these ones, people speak about them less depending on the community. But as we can see from the statistics, there is a lot of these issues going on, particularly in our community. Just 2 weeks ago, we read in the news of a gentleman who had been at a restaurant and he had killed his girlfriend and then killed himself. So it shows us how close to home this problem is. So if a person is experiencing physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, spiritual abuse. Spiritual abuse, for example, is where, for example, if it's an interfaith relationship and one person prevents another from practicing their religion or forces them to change their religion, this is a form of spiritual abuse. There's economic abuse. In all of these categories, if you are experiencing these types of abuse, you do have recourse in the law. You can apply for a protection order. This is a free service, and you can have this done at the court. I think I can hand over to you. I think I may be limited for time, I'm not sure. Okay, with respect to the protection order, you will have to go to court and you will pull out an affidavit. In that affidavit, you need to put down all of the details that has happened. For example, if your spouse told you they would kill you, that's evidence. You're going to write that down. If you have WhatsApp messages where your partner is attacking you, swearing you, verbally abusing you, you can put this down because this is your evidence. And you're going to ask the court to help you to get a protection order so they stop doing these acts which you don't want them to do.
So can I ask a question in terms of if a person is in an abusive situation and she's been physically abused, would she be able to just go to the police station, and can you just give some guidance or advice on the the way forward.
Yes, definitely go to the police station, open a case at the police station, and you can take it from there. And thereafter, I think it's also important that you have all of your evidence and you take out a protection order, depending on the nature of the situation. For example, sometimes, let's say a couple is having a disagreement and there's been verbal abuse and physical abuse, you can go to SAPS with that. But let's say the one partner took the other partner's car without their consent. So now you can also open a case of theft at the police station, in addition to the case relating to domestic violence.
Thank you, Pranisha, for some of that input that you've given us. And I think it's quite important, especially presently where women that are very secluded, they don't know what to do when they are put into these violent situation. And at least we know from your little interchange with us that they do have a recourse and the court will give them a listening ear. Thank you for that. We have Mr. Udesh Ramesar, who's also present this morning. Mr. Ramesar is an active member of the Vedram Sabha, but he's also a practicing attorney for many years. So I'm going to ask Mr. Ramesar to speak a little bit about the law and some of the constitutional matters, and what, with the information that he's going to give us, how it will help and guide some of the victims that are put in situations where they do not know what to do. Over to you, Mr. Ramesar.
Thank you, Paddy. Thank you. As Prenisha elucidated us on domestic violence, the law relating to protection orders is Domestic Violence Act 116 of 1998, which establishes a framework for victims to apply for and receive protection orders against abusers. That Domestic Violence Act has now been amended, and it provides victim-centered focus on combating domestic violence with provisions for police to assist victims and arrest perpetrators. It also includes the right to a protection order and access to psychological and medical help. Together with that, we have other laws that would assist in a situation like this, namely the Protection from Harassment Act, which provides legal recourse for victims of stalking and harassment that fall outside the scope of domestic relationships. We have the Criminal and Related Matters Amendment Act that amends the criminal procedure to strengthen victim support, including requiring disclosure of existing protection orders for automatic bail refusal if not disclosed. The Criminal Law, Sexual Offences and Related Matters Amendment Act introduces new offences such as sexual intimidation and expands the scope of the National Register for Sex Offenders to include all sex offenders, not just those against children and the mentally disabled. How does the law protect survivors? The protection orders, as Prenisha says, survivors can apply for an urgent protection order at the magistrate's court to prevent further harm. The police are obligated to assist survivors, take statements, and open cases against perpetrators. Support services. Courts can refer survivors to additional support services like shelters and social workers. Legal proceedings. Offenders can be charged under criminal law. New amendments also guarantee that perpetrators of GBV are not released on bail prior to the first court appearance if an existing protection order is in place. Victim testimony. Survivors can give evidence via closed-circuit television, which protects them from having to face the perpetrator in the same room. Also, I think it's important to note, as Prenisha said, she's given the definition of the various types of abuse. And I think in a lot of minds, in the community minds, abuse relates to scarring, relates to beating. But abuse can take many forms, as Prenisha has said. Thank you, Prenisha.
I must thank both of you for making yourselves available this morning. And the valuable information that you have shared with us will obviously be of help to many people that are unaware of the legal recourse that they may have. Once again, I would like to say thank you so much to Prenisha for availing yourself this morning. I'm sure we will be doing more series on the legal aspects for future. And Mr. Udesh Ramesar, or Udesh Ji, for being with us this morning from his busy schedule. Once again, thank you to our listeners. If you have any requests or if you have any challenges that you would like one of our attorneys to address, you could contact us through the Arya Samaj headquarters in Overport, and we will then channel your request to one of our attorneys. Thank you and namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.